Hey everybody, welcome back to the Ruby Moss Cottage YouTube channel. This is episode 68. So grab you a cuppa and get settled in and we'll start talking all things crafty.
Hey, glad you decided to join me. Welcome. It's spring. Springtime in the Midwest can be quite surprising. From sunny and fairly warm to cold and rain with hail and yes, even snow. But as long as I have my yarn, then I am very content inside regardless of what's going on outside. Here in the craft loft, there's been some ripping back and some reknitting, some binding off, and some casting on. Thank you so much for joining me. I always love our time together.
How have you been? It's been cold here in the Midwest, which for a knitter isn't all that bad because we still get to wear our woolens well into the year, like May. Crazy. I talked to family back in Charlotte and it's warm, and here it's cold. We have not had any snow recently, just rain, but it's been a cold, wet, windy rain. But like I say, just an excuse to wear more woolens, which, thank you for asking, I am wearing my woolen honey pullover. Fresh off the needles, fresh out of the bags. I wore it this weekend and I thought I'd wear it today for you so you can see it in all of its glory. There's the honeycombs. I love the fit. So I'm very, very, very happy with how this turned out. I have given you all the details in episodes 66 and 67 as far as the needles that I used and all of that, the yarn that I used, but I cannot tell you how happy I am with this sweater. So I happen to be wearing two things today, handmade, my sweater and then my socks. These socks I've had for quite a while out of my bags. They are the Perfect Companion socks by Marta of Petiteknits. Great pattern. I love, I just did them in a brown wool so I could wear them a lot, and wear them a lot I do. I'll try and put a full full view of what I have on today. I have some, I don't know what you would call them, just wide-legged cropped pants and my sweater with a little tank underneath of it, and my Birks with my Perfect Companion socks. So that's what I'm wearing. Thank you all so much for your response to my last video on the monkey. I think it was a 100% consensus that it was not too girly, and I have completed the one monkey and I'm going to start another one, cast on another one for the new Grandy. And when I get them stuffed, I will post a picture of them. That won't be until June when I'm back at the yurt and I can get, that's where my stuffing is. That's where the safety eyes are. And so I will finish them at that point, but I will have them ready to go so that when I get there, all I have to do is stuff them, put the eyes in, and probably just sew up a little seam about that much, and they'll be done and ready to give. And I love the monkey that's finished. So it's going to be, I will pop that in when they're finished. But thank you so much for all of your comments about that. I really appreciated it. As well as thank you to all of you who have been following me since the beginning. I was blown away by how many of you there are, and I'm sure there's more. Maybe they'll watch at later dates. Maybe they haven't, watched it yet, but they will. oh, wouldn't it be awesome if we could just have one retreat where we could all get together and just talk about all the episodes and things you were knitting while I was knitting. It would just be so fun. And then I would like to have a retreat with all of my new ones, the ones that I would just like to be with all of you at one time. Oh, in a perfect world. I also want to say I am sorry that I did not flip the video last time. That was just a rookie mistake. So the books, everything I showed, the writing was backwards. I'm sorry for that. But, you know, it is what it is. I'm not a paid professional. So thank you for joining me. If you are new, welcome. Make yourself at home. We always get ourselves a cuppa and we just settle in and we just talk all things crafty. We talk about life. We talk about books, what all I'm up to. So yeah, make yourself at home. Leave a comment below if you are a new follower so I can get to know you. Introduce yourself and we'll just become good friends. And I just want to say you can support me if you like what you see here and you want to support me. I do not have a Patreon page. I am really lucky to get this out 2 times a week, or not 2 times a week, once every 2 weeks. So I don't have a Patreon page. I've toyed with the idea, but then I thought it would take away from this and all the friendships that we've got here. So I just decided that instead of a Patreon page, I would open up a Buy Me a Coffee page. So if you feel like buy me a coffee, you can, the link is down below. You can hit that. You can buy me a cup of coffee. And that's just your way of saying to me, hey, thank you. I appreciate all you're doing in sharing your life with us. For an introvert like me, that's quite a big deal. So yeah, the link is below if you wish. Thank you to everyone who supports me through that link. I truly do appreciate it. It helps keep my projects flowing. It helps keeps my mojo going so that I can do this every 2 weeks. So thank you for that. Feel free to subscribe if you don't already. And while you're at it, hit the notifications bell and that will let you know when I post a new video so that you'll be sure not to miss one video. I do try to post every two Thursdays. So this Thursday, not next Thursday, but the next Thursday, every other Thursday, I try to upload a new video so that we could all sit together and craft together. Thank you to my returning viewers as well. I love you. You're such a special place in my heart, and I just appreciate all the comments in the last video. You can follow me on YouTube. Oh, this is YouTube. You can follow me on Instagram, and I am at the same Ruby Moss Cottage. I am on Ravelry, but I'm not on Ravelry. I do have a page, and I used to post my projects, but I'm no longer on there, only to check patterns, to buy patterns. So that's usually what I use Ravelry for. Okay. Thank you too for all of your kind comments about this mop. Oh my goodness. You know what I need now? I need you to leave comments. If you're hairdressers, and I know one of you is a hairdresser, as I've said before, I'm starting to let my hair go gray. And this morning I put this purple mask on it to help, because what my hairdresser was doing was trying to blend in, like from the base down, just try to put in some highlights to keep it to where it looked natural. Well, so this part has a tendency to go orangey until I can get back to her. And so it was starting that, and I don't go to her now until June when I'm in Charlotte. So if you know of any tips, any things that I can do, any kind of a product that I can use, please drop me a link below. I need the link too, but just tell me how I can better manage that to keep it from going just a little orangey on me in between visits, because like I'll go to her in June and then I won't be back to her until September. So, I mean, other than just cut it really short, it's growing out to about here now. So The struggle is real, people. The struggle is real. All right. Why don't we just get into what is out of my bags? This is out of my bags, as I told you, the Wool and Honey sweater, or the Wool and Honey Pullover by Andrea Mowry. I love it. I cannot say enough good things about it. I probably will make another one at some point. I'm just not ready to cast it on now because I've got a whole queue of things in my mind and in my notebook that I want to cast on soon. And this was on I did this on 2.5s US, and so oh my lands, it took me forever. I did go up to a 3 on the sleeves, but I'm just not ready to do a big project on those small needles again. So this is what is out of my bags, and I will stand up again so that you can see it. It is just a well fit. I mean, it is just perfect. I was talking to a friend of mine this morning because she just bought the pattern. And I do remember when I cast on, reading comments where people would have to cast on several times to get the right sizing. I didn't. I did do a gauge swatch. And, but yeah, it's just perfect. I love it. I did the sleeves different than the pattern called for. I think the pattern called you to knit it here, and then from here down do ribbing. I didn't want to do that, so I just did the bracelet length top. Now, while I absolutely love this, you will remember this is out of my bag, so I can talk about it, but it is an epic fail. Remember, I was going to make a skirt out of this fabric that I thrifted, and it was going to go just perfectly with this. Right? Isn't that appears to be really cute? However, the hips, they go like this. When it's on, it's horrible. And it would have to become completely apart because I did there's pockets on each side. So it's not going to be an easy fix. So this skirt is going, I'm hoping that maybe someday I will get the desire to fix it, but the desire is not there now. So I'm going to, because I have to take off the waistband, I would have to take out the zipper. I would have to let out the sides, and then I've got the pockets to deal with. That might be a project that my sister and I can do together sometime when we have many days together. But I might take it with me to Charlotte because she and I are going to be spending some time together at the yurt. And so I might take it with me so that she can look at it and go, yeah, we can fix that, or nah, just repurpose that fabric for something else. I will say this, fixing your mistakes, I think, is so much easier than sewing. Because like I was telling my husband, if I knit a sweater that I don't like, I can just frog it really easy and reuse the yarn. You can't do that with an outfit or a piece of garment. I mean, I guess you could take it apart, but then you've got these pieces cut for this, this certain type of outfit or piece of clothing. So I'm not so sure I'm ever meant to make clothes. I will say this, I like sewing bags, I like quilting, and maybe I would like clothes if I had an easier pattern. I have made a skirt before that just had an elastic waist, so it was like a jersey knit, and I think it was basically a front and a back that you seamed on the sides and you had an elastic waist, and I wore that like all one summer. I don't know what happened to it, but every time I wore it, people liked it. So that kind of easy knitting, maybe, but maybe I just bit off more than I could chew, not totally understanding how patterns work. So that's out of my bags. I'm not sure you'll ever see it again. I think, oh no, I have something else here that's out of my bags. Remember, I made that headband that I was telling you about. So I made another headband, or headscarf, whatever, that it'll go up and tie. I made another one. That was the, again, I talked about this. I think I made a gold one last episode. This is the Pin Me Up Headband. It's a free pattern on Ravelry. So I did make another headband. And let's see if my skirt, the Pin Me Up Headband, and the Wool and Honey sweater. That's all that's out of my bags. I love these headbands. I actually had some yarn, some white, creamy white yarn pulled. I was going to make a white one, but then I got busy making some other things and I kind of forgot about another headband. That will take us to what is in my bags. Okay, I think I told you that I wanted to start the April cardigan by Petiteknits. And let's see if I have a picture here. This is the back of it. And I'm sorry, it's really wonky because I've had it all folded up in my bag, but this is the front of it. So it's the April cardigan by Petiteknits. Can I just say, another win. I am so in love with this cardigan. Okay, I am using this Rowan felted tweed, which is a DK weight. I think she has you holding 2 strands of lace weight and fingering weight. Not 2 strands of lace and fingering, 2 strands together, 1 lace, 1 fingering, held together like a mohair and a fingering, which typically makes a DK weight. So I don't like mohair. I say that and I just wonder what's in this. Yeah, okay. So this is merino wool and alpaca. It's the Rowan felted tweed and it is in colorway, is shade number 145. It's like a deep brown, a tweedy brown, and it has like blues and golds in it. Well, let me show you how far I've gotten. I am so in love with this. It fits perfect. I don't want to knock my bag over. Okay, so this is how far I've gotten. So I've got the whole cardigan knit. I'm now to the ribbing. I had to do 4 inches of ribbing, and I've done almost 2. So I will do about 2 more inches of ribbing, and then I move on to the sleeves. This, I think, knits so fast because, remember I told you I did this in a 2.5 US? Well, this was a size 6 US. Oh, it felt like I was just whizzing right along. I got gauge on the size 6 is what she calls for. I did a gauge swatch, and this is knit back and forth, back and forth. So I did a gauge swatch on a size 6 needles and I didn't get gauge. So I went up to a 7, went up to an 8, went up to a 9. I just couldn't get gauge. And then I remembered, okay, I'm knitting one way, and then when you purl, I was knitting backwards. And so I'm like, okay, I know that's going to give me a different gauge. So I started back down on the needles, doing gauge with the purling backwards or knitting backwards. Turned out I got gauge on a size 6, the original needle, because my gauge knitting backwards just really loosened my gauge up a lot. So when I do the sleeves, I'm going to go up to a size 7 needle. So they should go really fast. And then the slow part, the ho-hum part, is where I have to go pick up stitches all the way around. That's not my favorite, but everything else with this pattern has worked like a dream. So I'm just having high hopes that picking up the stitches for the neckband and the button band will be perfect too. It seems like my camera is further away today than it normally is, so I hope that everything is showing up well, but I love this, and it's gonna go perfect with summer dresses. I don't know what the weather's like up here in the summer. So I'm a cardigan kind of girl. I love cardigans. And so I'm just hoping that I can wear this. I mean, I feel like this is the, 2nd of May. So I feel like I should have this finished within a week. So I feel like I should at least get to wear it through May, and then maybe a little bit of June. And then I'm sure fall comes early. So this is the 3rd sweater in a row. I've knit this one, I've knit this one. Obviously this is not finished yet, so, you know, I won't know the outcome of the completed project until the project is complete. But I did this one, and then I can't remember the one I did in January that is like my throw and go for around the house. I love the fit of it. I love the fit of this, and so far I love the fit of this. I don't know what has happened with my knitting that all of a sudden I'm really liking my sweaters that I knit. They fit me perfectly. And I feel like that's making me want to knit more sweaters and more sweaters and more sweaters. And I don't know, it's just, I can't get enough sweaters. So after what, 25 years of knitting, it's about time I get some sweaters that I like. All right, so that is in my bags. This is in a bag I picked up at Friends and Fibers yarn shop, and it is by Nina Hansen. I think Nina Hansen is on Instagram. But anyway, so she is a local maker in Asheville, North Carolina. So that is in my bags. Then I started another project. Okay. I've really had some, it's warm in here. I've really had some deep thinking going on as far as I do so much dreaming that I feel like if I could just stop dreaming and start doing, I would have so much more accomplished. Like, I dream of all these makes, but I spend so much time dreaming about them. I spend so much time scrolling and saving and scrolling and saving and scrolling and saving. And I spend so much time flipping through magazines or books or knitting books, or even talking with other knitters about projects that I want to do and things that I want to do, that I feel like I waste so much time dreaming. So I'm like, okay, Joyce, it is time to stop dreaming and start doing. You've got to stop dreaming and start doing. Stop dreaming and start doing. So this is what this project is. I have had this. It's a magazine that I've gotten, like a sales magazine that I've got in the mail a long time ago. And when I got it, I saw these socks, and I thought, I want to make them. I can make those. I want those. So it's time to stop dreaming and start doing. So I'm going to show you these socks, and I hope there's the window there. There they are. Oh, I don't want the glare on the window. The glare on the, maybe that's the best shot. So I'm like, okay, I can do that. I just loved them. They're like this cool retro look. So I cast them on. Let me show you what they look like. I guess I should put them on sunflowers. Okay, so I don't have it finished, but I do have one almost finished. And I'm hoping that you guys can help me again. So here's what I did. I'm going to just call them the retro crew socks. Okay, get my needles out of the way. This is how far I am. So I just had some yarn in my stash. These are just minis that I had in my stash. This is a Cascade sock yarn that I bought. I also bought it at Friends and Fiberworks. Okay, let me get this heel. This is not right. Okay, that's better. So this is just plain, I cast on 2x2 rib, and I do 64 stitches. So I did 2x2 rib, 64 stitches just in my minis. Then I picked up this yarn, and I knew that I wanted to do a simple heel. And so I thought, I know that Judy of Magic Acorn had a sock pattern called a magic heel, but I thought, I don't think I need that. I think I can just wing it. And then I thought, okay, why would you just wing it when you've got a friend who's printed a pattern? You can just get the professional help. So I bought her pattern, and I put in this magic heel. And let me tell you, I'll probably never do anything other than this. So this was just so easy, and I would just love to tell you how, but you're going to have to. I am not sure if Judy has a link. She puts out her own podcast, so if she has a link to tell you how to do it, I will put it below. If she doesn't, you'll need to go on Ravelry and buy the pattern. So now I've worked down to here, and I'm like, okay, I want the same thing for a toe. I want, as easy as this heel is, I want the toe to be that easy. If you guys know of a heel that is just mindless, like to this point, if I wanted to knit this sock, I could be anywhere with just my needles and my yarn, and I could just cast on, do the sock, and get to the toe without even thinking. So I want the toe to be the same way. I don't want to have to keep referencing something. I want there to be such an easy toe. I don't even know if it exists. And I'm not creative enough to come up with one. So if you know of a toe, a magic toe, please let me know below. I love this because it's almost like the tube sock that we used to wear. And these socks are going to fold so nicely in my sock drawer. It's just, I have a feeling I will try and incorporate this heel. I don't know how it would work with like a color work sock, but I would try my best if I could. But I'm having such fun. And so that was one of the things, you know, I saw in a magazine, and I do that all the time. I'm always ripping pages out of flyers that I get in the mail, or actually even taking pictures. We're watching a show on TV now, Nashville on Hulu. It's so good. And I know it's been out a while, but we just started watching it. Absolutely love it. And Scarlett, I told Todd, I said, I know she's like in her 20s, but I literally could just take her wardrobe, her clothes, get them in my size and wear them. Now, not belly tops, I wouldn't show the belly or anything like that, but most all of her stuff I could just wear. And I'm like, we're sitting here, and I'm like, okay, stop that, I want to take a picture. And I'm taking pictures of this stuff. I'm like, I could make that, I could make that. So it's time for me to stop dreaming and start doing. And this is the first thing that I'm doing. So I'm really enjoying this cute little retro crew sock that anybody could do. Y'all could do that. It's just so easy. If you like it, you might not like it. But if you do cast it on, you could do it so quickly and so easily. This is in my Button Jar Studio bag. Love her stuff. And yes, this is me. This screams me. Perfect bag for a retro sock, don't you think? So that's in my bags. That is all that's in my bags. That's it. I do want to cast on something else. I just bought the pattern. I have 2 skeins of yarn, but all the other yarn is supposed to be delivered today, and I thought it would be here, and I've waited and waited and waited to podcast and to record, thinking, oh, it'll be here, it'll come. But actually, they've been working next door, tearing out a fence, and I don't know, it's been loud. And I think they took a lunch break. So I thought, you know what, while they're taking a lunch break, I'm gonna try and record before the noise starts back up, which means I can't wait for my yarn to get here. I just have to go ahead and record. But this is the pattern that I'm going to do. Now, it is crochet. I have only crocheted one other sweater, and it was not a cardigan. It was a pullover. And I'm checking in my mind to make sure I'm telling you the truth. I know of one sweater that I crocheted. I think that's all I've ever crocheted, but I'm not 100% sure. I've crocheted lots of blankets. I've crocheted shawls. I feel like that's all different though. This is a sweat, like a you know, a cardigan that has armholes and neck shaping, but we have YouTube, so I think we'll be okay. But this is the Granny Go Round cardigan by Iron Lamb. I hope that this will show well. I don't think I just showed you anything. No, I didn't. But I have loved this for so long. And I saw it pop up again on Instagram. Either that or I saw someone wearing it on a podcast. I'm not sure. But I'm like, okay, this is the time. I'm going to stop dreaming and start doing. I want that cardigan. So this is going to be on my needles in my bags next. I might even cast on before I get the April cardigan finished because I'm in love with this thing. In love with it. I'm going to... There is a version that she's knitting. I'm not sure this is it. But I tried to copy the colors as much as I could to one of the ones that she made. And I think this might be it. I don't know. I'll know when it gets here, when the yarn gets here. But it's the Granny Go Round cardigan by Iron Lamb. I am so wanting to cast on a blanket that it's not even funny. There's 1, 2, 3 that I'm trying to choose from. There is the one by Kay Jones, the jelly roll, that you just use minis, and I think you just do it in strips, and then you put the strips together, and you use minis. Then there's one by Molly of a Homespun House, and I think it's called the Cozy Comfort Throw, and you just use minis, and I think she runs, I don't know if it's 2 fingerings, like I would think the 1 fingering would be a solid. I'm not sure, I haven't bought the pattern yet. I want to do that one. And then I think I told you a while back I wanted to make one sort of like the blanket that Chris from Chris Norrington had made. Well, I saw Kristen Nicholas. Is it Nichols or Nicholas? I don't know. One of the two. I have loved her work for years. She was on a podcast the other day showing you how to make these. I think they were like hexagons, and then sew them together to make a blanket. So one of those 3 is going to be started soon. I don't know which one. I'm almost thinking that, so I am a Patreon of Molly's, and I'm not the highest level, but I think the highest level you get minis per month, maybe. I'm almost thinking that I'm going to just up my Patreon so that I can get those minis, and then I'll buy her pattern and just start that one. I have a lot of minis, but I think it would be pretty cool to make them with hers, or at least have some of hers added into it. I'm looking down here because all my minis are under this one shelf over here. Decisions. I want all 3 blankets, so I can't make a bad call here. I love all 3. I feel like I really want a blanket on the go. I also feel like the Jelly Roll by Kay Jones, and even the hexagon ones would be easy travel. Like, you're not lugging a blanket. So maybe I should cast on 2. Molly, the Cozy Comfort Throw would be my, when I'm at the loft, just sitting knitting. And then if whatever one I chose of the other 2 could just travel with me. And like when we go out, or if we go to the park or whatever, I could just sit and work on that. Oh, that's a good thought. So those are all the projects that I'm toying around with in my head. Let's start talking about the book bag. Okay, so we just finished the Camp Zero book with the book club. It was a small book club, and I don't think any of us really cared for it. It was it's kind of out there, futuristic. So glad that book is finished. Jenna Bush Hager is the book club that I like to follow typically, and this month she chose another futuristic book, and I just thought, I can't do that. I can't do futuristic. So I'm not reading her book this month. I just finished The Four Winds by Kristen Hanna, and at the same time I've been listening to the book by Pearl S. Buck, A Good Ground. I think it's called A Good Ground. Oh my gosh, 2 of the most depressing books at the same time. I'm just like, enough. I need something lighthearted. So I just started this book. It's called A House Above the Bookshop. I don't know how that's going to show up. This is on my Kindle, obviously. A House Above the Bookshop, and it is, let's see, by Sage Parker. This I saw advertised on Instagram, I think. And it's a series with 50-year-old women in it. So it's a series based around 50-year-old women. And I thought, oh, that'd be fun. Women my age, so I just started this actually this morning. And it started pretty good. I'm enjoying. I think I've only read a couple chapters, but so far I'm enjoying that. Whew. It's about time. I mean, oh. Kristen Hanna is very dark anyway. It seems like I've read several of her books, and it just seems like, oh, they all are just so heavy and dark. So I don't think I'm reading her anymore. At least not for a good long time, until someone cons me back into reading another one. But this one by Sage Parker, House Above the Bookshop, I think I'm going to like it. So far it seems pretty good. So I'm not going to do another book club open up to everyone until Jenna gives one that's not futuristic, or one that I think we would all enjoy. Although I will say this, I feel like the ones that she promotes are hard to get at the library. So like, one of the girls in our book club was waiting to get from the library for a while, and then she finally she couldn't, because it was such a hot book. So I think she ended up getting it on Audible or something. So some of the ones by Jenna are hard to get. Maybe give me some ideas of how we could do a book club. Just leave me some comments below if you've got an idea of how we could do that, because what I'm wanting to do is get it rolling enough so that we can have a video chat on Instagram about it. And this time, by the time we staggered finishing, we just decided it wasn't good enough to even talk about, because we would be just go, oh, we didn't like it. We didn't really care for it. So anyway, that's all about my book bag. That's everything. I don't see anything else around here that I need to talk about. A very short one. No, not too short. 38 minutes so far. What do we have going on around here? Nothing. Nothing at all. I am actually thinking, so when I moved up here, my husband had a rental, and then a rental car, and or whatever, a rental vehicle, and then we went back, got my car, and brought it up here. I thought I'd have my car to drive everywhere. Well, then when he signed a new contract, the rental car, he didn't add in. So he's driving my car to work. So I'm back to having no vehicle. So what I'm thinking about doing is getting a bike. He actually said this weekend, let's just go get you one. Let's go get you a bike, and you can ride to these coffee shops, and there's a little yarn shop just far enough to where I couldn't walk. And maybe I could walk if it was just like a perfect day and all the stars were aligned, like the body felt good, but a bike would be so easy. And so I was like, well, let me think about it. Then I saw this billboard for electric bikes. Now I'm thinking, the only problem with the electric bike is we live in the loft. So I'm thinking, would I have to bring that up here? Because I would have to carry it up around. I don't know that I could do that. We'll see. We will see. I know nothing about electric bikes. Do you? I don't know. But I'm thinking I could just pack my knitting, put a little basket on the front. Even if it wasn't electric, I mean, it's flat here. Put my knitting in the basket, ride to the bookstore, or not the bookstore, the coffee shop. Then go on down to the yarn shop, go to the chiropractor, and ride back. I could do that a couple times a week. That would be so fun. So I might be doing that. They also had these scooters, like the city scooters that I thought, well, because like just I could hop on that, you know, have the kind that you just drive and you get off and you leave, and then someone else comes along, gets on, goes. They have those everywhere. So I could even do that. That wouldn't be as easy because there's no basket for my knitting. Although I could just throw it in a backpack and go. I'm not used to city life. What's a girl to do? I'm used to the mountains. Even when I lived in the city, we lived out. I mean, you know, you took your car everywhere. You would not have driven a bike from where I lived. I mean, in the neighborhood maybe, but not out on the main road. They didn't have bike lanes and it was a highway. I mean, just didn't do it. So this is all new to me, the city life. I don't know how to do it. And Todd's always going, just Uber. But I don't like to do that. Number one, it's expensive. And number two, I only Uber if I have to, because I don't like getting in the car with a strange man, and I don't know, I'm an introvert. I don't like to talk. So anyway, not much going on around here. I'm here most of the time, and then on weekends we go out. Went to the movies. We went to go see Big George Foreman. That was really good. We enjoyed that. We're exploring, finding different restaurants. The problem with us is, like, we find a restaurant we like, and like, oh, let's go back. Let's go back there. So, I know there's one in the neighborhood down here that we're going to try, I think, Friday night. I hope you've been able to hear me. Now the owners live downstairs. They're back from Africa, and they have 3 little boys, and I think they're napping now. So I've been trying to talk quieter because I know they're probably trying to hit the same window of opportunity that I am. Like, okay, they're not working there. Let's put the boys down for a nap. And so I'm trying to talk lower so that they can't hear me, but you can. All right, that's it. Nothing else, nothing new. I'm going to get back to my knitting. Actually, yeah, I'm gonna go take a walk, and it's cold, but I'm gonna bundle up, and I'm gonna take a walk, then I'm gonna come back, and I'm gonna knit. I'm gonna knit on the April cardigan because I want to get that done. Oh, I don't know. If my other yarn comes in, maybe I'll cast on this. Definitely gonna study the pattern. If I have questions, I've got a friend who's a great knitter, and so Jules, I will be texting you saying, what does this mean? I hope you all are doing well. I hope you're finding lots of things to make. And I hope that I can inspire you to stop dreaming and start doing as well. Because we got things to make, people. We've got things to make. Makers movement, right? Okay, happy May, happy making, and remember that in all you do, take it one stitch at a time. Until next time.
You guys, I just went on a walk and I saw this couple walking and she had on a knit hat and I asked her if she was a knitter and she said, no, he is. Gasp! So I stood there and talked and talked and talked and I met new friends. Hello, Jean and Brian.